Hi, Central Crossing. My name is Mrs. Fairs, and I am here with Miss Krista Foley, and we are inviting you to apply to the National Honor Society. So we are super excited to go over this application process with you. We love being part of NHS, and you're going to see a video from our current president, Rebecca Reynolds, and some information about why you should join NHS. So it is a application process. So you are receiving this because you have met the first pillar of 4 for NHS, and that is having an unweighted GPA of 3.5 at this point in time. So we're going to go over a lot of information with you. So the first thing is the paper instructions of how to actually apply. All right, so you will see that the first paragraph kind of reiterates that you are being invited because of that unweighted GPA of 3.5. But the other 3 pillars for NHS are looking at leadership, character, and service to their community and school. Okay, so we want to make sure that you know that our NHS members, we expect them to be active members of our club by coming to our monthly meetings and participating in different events that we have throughout the year. So as you are completing this application, please be aware that there is a faculty council. So that is a number of staff members here in our building who review all of these applications. And it is a majority vote of those students who are actually admitted into NHS. Ms. Krista Foley and myself, we do not get a vote in that. So we are good people who can answer questions and help you with this process, read things over if you want. So the first part is just kind of saying if you are not interested, maybe there's a lot going on that you don't want to apply this year, that is totally fine. We do ask that you complete an opt-out form, and we'll kind of go over that. If you are wanting to apply, then we invite you to do so and turn everything into either Miss Chris or myself by Sunday, November 1st. By midnight, okay? So your application comes into 3 parts. The first part is going to have 3 different aspects of it, and that is to complete what is called your student activity and award sheet. Then you're going to have the community award and service sheet. Then you're going to have a few short answer essay questions. Part 2 is having that parent, guardian, and student consent form signed. So essentially, we want your parent, guardian to also be on board with you being a member of National Honor Society. The third part is that we are asking you to ask 2 to 3 people who know you well to fill out a recommendation form for you. This is going to be a Google form to make it really easy, and that link is going to be in the email that we send to you with all this information. That recommendation form needs to be completed by November 6th. So they have a few extra days to do that, and we will collect that. Kind of going over the completed application. So once you have everything completed, you're going to compile it all into a document. You are going to name that document your last name, comma, your first name, and then hyphen NHS application and the year 20-21, so that everyone's application is going to look very similar. And then that signed guardian consent form, you are going to title that or label that your last name, comma, first name, hyphen parent/guardian and student consent form. That way we know where all of your application parts are when we have that faculty council meeting. So a couple of helpful hints in this process is that we want you to be as specific as possible. This is not a time to be shy or humble. This is the time to tell us how awesome you are. So any kind of leadership or volunteer experience that you've had, whether that be in school or in the community, we want you to highlight that on there. Anything from ninth grade up until now is going to be something that you can put on your application. Do not use abbreviations. If you have an elected office role in some kind of organizational club, please note that, because that kind of leads to the leadership pillar of NHS. Don't be modest. We talked about that. When you have a part in the application, and we'll talk about this again, where you have some community service, we're going to ask that you give us a contact information for that person, a name, a phone number, and specific number of hours that you have completed with that community service. Make sure that you give us that information. We have seen people not get in because they did not actually complete that information. Sometimes we do call those references and we say, hey, what is it that they actually did? Because we want to know a little more. And that can make a decision with that faculty council. So we want to make sure that you have a really complete, good, thorough application. So a couple of things with the timelines that you will know. You will be notified Wednesday, November 18th, whether you were accepted into NHS, and if you were not accepted, we will be able to share with you which pillar it was that the faculty thought that you needed to kind of increase. So if you are a junior, then hopefully you can make some adjustments and apply again your senior year. There is a $10 membership fee to be a part of NHS, so kind of just know that that's going to be added for all of our inductees. And we are anticipating actually having an in-person ceremony at this point right now, and that would be on December 9th at 6:30 here at Central Crossing High School. So we are going to follow a lot of social distancing guidelines and policies, but we are super excited to be able to have hopefully an in-person ceremony for you guys. So that kind of completes the instructions. Now we're going to walk through the forms one by one so you know how to use them.
Okay, so the first form that you will need to possibly fill out if you do not want to apply to NHS is number 3 on this kind of like checklist, you can think about it as, and that is the opt-out form. So if you click on this, it will take you to the opt-out form. What you will have to do in order to edit this document and actually sign it, put your name, have your parents sign, is you're going to have to download. So you're going to hit this little arrow that says download. And when it downloads, it will download to your Chromebook. Then I click on this and then it will pop up and be open. So the first thing you would do is you would type your name here. So I'm going to type in Nicole Crisafulli. For the student signature part, if you click here, you're going to have to go up to the top right, get this annotate, get this pencil. And then what you will be able to do is you will be able to sign your name. So once these pencil and pen options pop up at the top bar here, you're going to click on the pen, make sure that we have a black ink so Miss Ferris and I can read it. And then you are just going to sign your name. Okay. And then your parents are also going to sign their names as well in the box right underneath, like so. And then you will actually have to put in the date. So to get back to where you can type in that box, you're going to unclick that pen up here, and then a text box will pop up. And Miss Ferris and I are recording this on the 15th, so we'll do 10/15/2020. You can type that in, and then the same thing for your parent, just type in the same date. Once you are done with doing this, okay, you're going to want to download and save it. And then you're going to want to upload it to an email and attach it to an email to send to myself and Mrs. Ferris. And if you are deciding that you do not want to apply to NHS this year, that is okay. We know that there's a lot of other things going on in the world right now, and it might not be a good fit for you. But if you are a junior and you meet the qualifications again your senior year, you could probably get another invitation to try it again your senior year. So That is the opt-out form. Next, what we are going to talk about is number 4, which is the actual application. So we're going to click on this icon for the application. And when you click on the icon, it forces you to make a copy. So what you're going to do is you're going to click make a copy. And when you make a copy of this, it will automatically put it in your Google Drive. So, what you're going to want to do, so to help you find it, remember how in the instruction document that Ms. Fears went over, it told you that we needed you to fill this out and name this a certain way. So, at the top of your document, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the title. You are going to get rid of the first part of it, and you are going to type in your last name. So for me, it would be Chrysophilia, comma, first name, dash, NHS, application, and then the date, 2021. Okay. And the reason why we're being nitpicky about this is that when we look for applications and we're trying to sort through all the applications, it will be very easy for us to find your application this way because we can just search for your last name and then we'll be able to pull up your application and the faculty council will be able to go over it. So Ms. Fairs is going to spend some time going over this first 2 pages of this with you. So Ms. Fairs, you can take it away.
Yay! All right. So first page of your application, we want you to put your full name on there. So that can be your first and your last name. You don't need to put your middle name there. You're going to put your student ID and then what current grade level you are. So whether you are a junior or a senior. So the first section is going to talk all about school. So it's going to ask you about activities or awards that you have received throughout school. So you will notice that we have different letters to indicate different like leadership roles or membership of different things. So we have, for example, P if you are the president of something, or B if you're the vice president. If you are a member of something, then you would just put an X. So you're going to use those codes within this document. And so you just go through and we have school activities. And let's say that you were involved in chess club your freshman year, you are going to put an X if you were just a member under the 9th grade. If you did Comet Crazies, let's say last year and this year, and you are the vice president this year, you would put a V in that box under the 11th grade. So you're going to fill out everything that you have been involved in. And then we have school awards that are below. So if you have received, for example, the All Academic Award, Honor Roll, that's like with your report card at any point, a Renaissance card holder, Swag Award, Top 25, you're going to indicate there by putting X's if you have received those awards. Then we have a section for school athletics, so you will kind of indicate there if you participated and or make sure that you put any leadership designation on there. We have music programs, and then we have a spot for other. So if there happens to be a club or something school related that we have forgotten, we apologize for that, but that is a space where you can type in and kind of let us know anything that is school related. So we want to make sure that you spend some time, and if you are in a leadership role, that you indicate that with one of the letter designations that we have indicated for you. When you go on to page 2, this is when we're kind of looking at that community service type stuff. So anything that is outside of school, something that is not paid, where you volunteer your time, you're going to put whether it be church, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, a volunteer experience, maybe you do something with the YMCA, You're going to add that contact person and their phone number. And so, again, to reiterate, that is super important that you put that on there because we sometimes have to use that during the faculty council. You will highlight what grade levels you have participated in for that and give us an estimated total number of hours. And so if it was something that you have been doing like every week since ninth grade, you're going to say 52 weeks, in a year for 2.5 years, whatever that may be. You're going to get a rough estimate and you're going to put that on there. This next section is the leadership position in the community. Okay, so this is going to be if you were, at church or with Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, maybe you have some kind of leadership role in that arena. You're going to indicate that. That next section is any award or honor, special recognition that you have received in the community. Maybe you have gotten your black belt in karate or, whatever that may be, you're going to put something there. The next part is any other thing that we want, you to highlight on there. So that could be a job. So maybe we don't have as much community service, but you work at a job and you've been there for a number of years, or you are just working a lot. Maybe you have 2 jobs. You babysit, something like that. You had an internship. You are with like the BPA program. Anything you are going to put on there that is going to just not really fit in another box. Okay. So we want to make sure that this is as complete as possible because this is really one of the main things that they are looking for as far as being involved. So remember, leadership, community service are 2 big pillars that we're looking for. Okay, Ms. Chris is going to go on to the next piece in the short answer essay question.
All right. So now here's the time where you get to brag about yourself. You need to be able to be very open and honest about your experiences. So the first question that we ask is always to describe a volunteer experience that has greatly impacted your life. What sets this experience apart from other experiences? And more importantly, what did you gain from this experience? So think about anything that you have done with your volunteer time. Did you volunteer time to go somewhere? Were you touched by an individual that you helped that day? This is where you get to boast about all of those things that you have done. And because we don't know that, and we need to know everything. So we want you to pick the best, the one that stuck out in your mind the most, and what you learned from that. The second question that we want to have you address is your leadership experiences. So again, if you are the leader of a team or in band or Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts in your community, you are part of the leadership group in your church or during your youth group, anything like that. Describe one of those leadership experiences. Be sure that you are detailed to help our faculty council decide whether or not you have that leadership experience that we're looking for. And what did you learn about leadership? What did this experience teach you about being a leader, either in the community or amongst your peers? So the more detail you can put in these first 2 questions, the better it will be for our faculty council. And then the last part, this application is pretty lengthy. We ask about all of your accomplishments and everything that you've been a part of, but we really want to make sure that we give you time to boast or give us any more information that you find that we need to know that would set you apart from your peers. What do we need to know about you that would set you apart from some of the other NHS applicants to make you a prime candidate to be an NHS member? So this is the place, number 3, where we are going to tell us any additional information that we didn't ask specifically about in your application. You can tell us all about that there. And then the last part of this Google Doc is the sponsor/teacher list. And the reason why we ask this is because we know that some of the sponsors or teachers in your life might get busy and might not have the opportunity or maybe forget to fill out that faculty/sponsor application form for you guys. So we want to make sure that you list who they are. And Miss Fairs and I can promise you that if they don't fill it out, it will not be held against you. But we have record that you actually did ask them. So what we suggest is that we sent the link to you in the email. That was your invitation to apply. What we ask is that you actually email the teacher and sponsor outside the building the actual link that they would fill out. Email it to them. Basically say, I'm applying to NHS. Would you please fill out this recommendation form for me? It needs to be turned in and submitted by November 6th. Once they go through, it is a Google form. So once they go through, all they would have to do is hit submit at the bottom, and then their submission will be recorded, and Miss Fairs and myself will be able to see it. So that is your entire application with all the different pieces in it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our checklist that we have, and we are moving right along to the next one, which is the parent and guardian student consent form. So when we click on the pen here, again, this is going to be a form that you are going to have to rename. So when you download this, okay, you're going to have to download this first so that you can edit it. Remember, if you're doing this on a Chromebook, you're going to download it and then it's going to pop up and then you're going to click on it to open it. If you hover over this title up here, and you will be able to edit your title. So once you edit that title, you're going to put your last name, comma, first name, and then parent consent form. And then what you're going to do is you are going to, again, you're going to have to click on the pen in the top right corner and sign your name, print your name down here so we can attach you to this form and we know that this is your form. Parents are going to sign this, and then you're going to both date it. Again, you're going to have to download this form after you do your edits and then upload it. And we're going to talk about that in the next part, and Miss Fairs will talk about that. So the last part of your application, based on your invitation, is to email the completed application to Miss Fairs and myself, and she will talk about that more in detail.
Okay, so you will have that Google Doc that's your edited application that has all three parts, like the school activities, your community's awards, and your short answer. And so you can download that as a PDF. Okay, so you are going to hit File, Download, put it as a PDF. Okay, and then once you have it as that PDF, you save it. It's doing something weird on my computer as I'm trying to walk you through that. So you will save it as that PDF, and then you are going to attach it to the email to Ms. Crisafulli and myself. And then that second one is going to be the download of that consent form. So once you download it, you're going to have it on your desktop probably, and you're going to attach that to the email as well. So you will email the two of us two attachments, okay? And then you will have your part of the application complete. So in addition to that, you need to make sure that you are emailing the link to the faculty sponsor form to those 2 to 3 people that know you well, who are not related to you and can speak on your behalf of how great you are. So you want to make sure that they're going to give you a really good recommendation. So that is going to be your application. So yay! A few reminders before we wrap up. We just want to say how proud we are of you guys for making it to this point. So there are, I want to say 143 of you who have met the first pillar for NHS, and that is the scholarship piece. of the unweighted 3.5 GPA. So we are super excited and hope that you guys are going to apply. Keeping in mind that the other three pillars, and that is what the Faculty Council is really looking at, are a leadership piece as well as your service to community and school. So that last piece talks and speaks about your character. That is where the letters of rec are coming into play, as well as we look at disciplinary reports through Infinite Campus to, kind of look and see what's going on there. So we want to make sure that as a reminder, timeline, your applications are due by midnight on Sunday, November 1st. Your recommendation forms are due to us by that Friday, November 6th. Okay. We will let you know whether you were accepted or if there was something that we want you to work on. And that deadline was Wednesday, November 18th. And then again, induction itself is going to be on December 9th. And I will remember that because it is my birthday. And we're going to have that at 6:30 here at Central Crossing. So make sure that you are looking at that email we sent you. It will have that video as well from our current president, so she can tell you all about NHS from the student perspective. And we also, Ms. Christopherly and I will have 2 Google Meets sessions where you can come and join us if you have questions. We are more than happy to answer them. I know things are really different this year, but we want to be available to you. I know that either one of us would be willing to answer questions via email as well, and review things if you want to, share things with us and we can take a look. So we are here to support you. We are excited. And thank you so much for, thinking about applying and joining us, because we really enjoy it. It's really super, super awesome. And I'm going to stop now. Miss Chris, do you have any final words?
I do not, but thank you guys so much for watching this. Miss Ferris and I are really trying to make this as easy as a process is for you and your families to apply. We want all of you to apply and, go through the process. It's good practice for college applications in the future to get some of these things down on paper for you to look back at. And again, if you have any questions, email myself or Miss Fairs, and we will answer your questions to the best of our ability. And we wish you all the very best of luck in applying to NHS this year.
Yay!
Yay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.